Why I will never play the Ouija board again. This was posted to the subreddit, Ghost Stories, by user Sadie Sun Home. When I was growing up, my parents would occasionally tell me the story of the time they played the Ouija board. It was when they were dating before I was born, and they had a crazy night with it where it answered all kinds of questions. There is one thing my parents are not: liars. So these stories only intrigued me to find out for myself. When I was 17, I was a senior in high school and I had my first serious boyfriend. We were both very curious to know if the Ouija board truly worked, so we bought one. My bedroom was in the basement, and we set it up on my bed. It was close to midnight. We lit candles, turned the lights out, and sat cross-legged on the bed on each side of the board. We were supposed to pick a question and focus on it, with our index fingers lightly touching the planchette. The question we decided to ask was, will anyone talk to us? We must have sat there focusing on that question for about 40 minutes, occasionally shaking our hands out from them getting tired of being held in that position. After about 40 minutes, the planchette started to vibrate underneath our fingers. Then it slowly moved to the word yes. We stopped for a moment and looked at each other like, is this real? Then we asked, are you a spirit? And it moved away from the word yes and back to it. At this point, I noticed that I could feel a strange electricity moving throughout my body. I didn't like it. I've never felt it before or since. We decided to ask it, are you nice? And it very quickly moved to the word no. Now I am riddled with terror. I exclaim that I cannot play anymore and I go to pick the board up to put it back in the box, except, the board will not move. Not a sliver. It felt as though it was stuck there with cement. I remember yanking with my entire body at least 3 times, before suddenly, it felt as if something got off the board, and I flew backwards with it in my hands. I slammed it into the box and closed it. My boyfriend's face was pale. He tells me I have to go home. And I'm like, oh my God, don't leave me here. But he leaves. Here's where it gets even more scary. After I walked my boyfriend to the door, I went back down to my room. Only, it didn't look like my room anymore. Don't get me wrong, nothing changed visually, it was still all my stuff, but I felt like I was in a parallel universe. I felt so far away from all that is comfort and good. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm not a religious person at all, but I was so beside myself with terror that I didn't know what to do except to grab the Bible. I slept with it in my arms with the lights on. I actually slept with the lights on for the next week. I did not tell my parents what I had done, because I didn't want to get in trouble for playing the Ouija board in the house, or for my boyfriend staying over way later than he was allowed to. We played it when everyone went to bed. My room continued to not look or feel like mine for a couple weeks. Also, when I would get up for school in the morning, I would have to walk through a dark basement living room to get to the stairs because there was no light switch by my bedroom door for the living room, and my bedroom door was in the back corner of it. So when I would first open my bedroom door, the light in my room would cast out into the living room darkness, and for a split second, I would see a black cat run from the patch of light into the dark. I would shake it off as my eyes playing tricks on me. But after a couple of weeks, I was eating breakfast upstairs with my family, and my 7-year-old sister exclaims out loud, I keep seeing a black cat in the basement. That confirmed that it was not a trick of my eyes. Also, about a month after playing the Ouija board, my dad says to me, I don't know why, but the basement and the stairs have really bad vibes. And it's bothering me, because when I bought this house, one of the things I liked was that it had a good energy. That's when I realized for sure, without a doubt, that all of this stuff was not in my head. I had haunted my parents' house by playing that game. I learned after the fact that I was supposed to say goodbye before stopping the game. I think that had something to do with it. Another strange thing that happened, I always slept with my bedroom door locked. A few weeks after playing the game, I woke in the middle of the night to somebody jiggling my bedroom door handle violently. In the morning, I asked who was messing with me, but everyone acted like I was weird for asking. About 6 months after playing it, my stepmom was cleaning the house, found the Ouija board, and threw it away. Things started to calm down a little bit after that, but it took years for that basement to feel okay again, and honestly, it never went back to feeling the way it did before I played. I finally owned up to my dad and stepmom about what I had done. I wasn't in huge trouble, but my dad was like, I knew the house felt different. Damn it. To this day I feel bad for bringing that energy into the home. After that experience, I want absolutely nothing to do with Ouija boards. And they are not allowed in my home. I learned